Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We're also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show. Oh, enjoying vacation time, fun in the sun, and here's a fun one for you. It is an episode where we talk to Corey Welch, our buddy who spent 22 hours waiting in line to buy a single bottle of birthday bourbon. Here's his story.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon, delivered to you Monday through Friday every week. Today on the show, we talk to Corey Welch about his 22 hours in line outside of Old Forester waiting for the release of Birthday Bourbon. My name is MacLeod. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Corey Welch, Susie Youngson, and Wes Harden.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hi. Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
We are going to be talking about a heck of an adventure today. 22 hours in line waiting for birthday bourbon. So that's amazing to think about, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. For right now, MacLeod, you said there's something you wanted to talk to the group about. What was that?
Okay, so this I find to be an absolute abomination. I saw a news release that Twinkie just released a peanut butter pickle Twinkie.
Oh.
And that sounds disgusting to me. So I shared it across all my social medias because I'm like, this is horrible. Who had this god-awful idea? Why did they approve it? And some people love it. But I'm like, okay, I don't really like Twinkies, but you ruined a perfectly good Twinkie. And I love peanut butter, and you ruined that. But then I have people say, oh, well, I like to put pickles on my peanut butter sandwiches.
Who does this? Who are these people?
Who are you? So I just wanted to know your feelings on it because I am absolutely appalled.
It sounds like it was in a 70s sitcom thing because they would always have, a pregnant woman would have pickles and ice cream and stuff like that. Weird combinations. And I don't know. I don't hear people talking about that kind of stuff anymore. So it sounds like an old-time joke. This is a real thing, MacLeod. You're sure you're not getting gigged here?
Oh, it's 100% a real thing. It is definitely a real thing.
Weird. No, I wouldn't even try that. That's a hard pass for me. Anybody else? Corey, you're out there. Would you try that thing?
So you broke up. It was peanut butter and what?
Pickles.
Was it a peanut butter Twinkie? Is that what you said?
And a Twinkie, yes.
Peanut butter and pickles Twinkie.
Hard pass on the peanut butter and pickle Twinkie, but I would probably try a peanut butter Twinkie. That sounds delicious.
No, that's not on the table.
Yeah,
that's not on the table here.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's the pickles that ruined it. They
okay.
ruined everything.
You got to have the pickles in there too, Corey. I'm sorry. Now you're going to have to eat it. You committed to it.
Yeah.
All right, the Corey challenge. He's got to eat a peanut butter and pickles Twinkie.
I like peanut butters. I like peanut butter. I like Twinkies. I like pickles, but all by themselves. How about that?
That's fair. That's a sane thing to say.
Susie, how about you? Would you try this?
I can't get this look off my face because it's so gross to me. What I need to know what's the filling, and then is it like the Twinkie cake part is pickle or what?
So what the photo I saw was like the cake part's your normal Twinkie, but the filling is peanut butter with like pickle chunks.
Pickle chunks?
Even gross.
Yeah, they look like
That's disgusting. Yeah, straight
This
up
is me.
peanut butter. Fine.
All right, McNew, we're going to start to GoFundMe. How high does it have to hit for you to eat a box of those?
I need at least 2.5 million.
I bet you'd take less than that. There's got to be a number. And I bet you we'd be surprised how low it is. I bet you if it hit 300 cash, you do it. Yeah.
No. Maybe 300,000.
I would say bottom line 2,500 in cash. I could probably do it.
Now, what if there was a mayonnaise dipping sauce side, Wes?
Absolutely not. I would probably give you $2,500 to take it away from me.
I know that's your favorite condiment. You love mayonnaise.
God, no.
Just to finish off,
that turns into a puke fest and everything. Not happening.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, you watch these shows like Survivor where they do these strange exotic foods that seem crazy. But something like a peanut butter and pickles Twinkie with a mayonnaise dipping sauce, to me that's worse.
That is worse.
It is.
That is
I would
terrible.
eat bugs before I ate that.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. I can't believe they make a product like that actually. So that's I thought this was fake, man.
Go to World Market, man. You'll see stuff that you've never seen in your life, like sriracha Kit Kat bars and stuff like that. Yeah.
I like hot sauce and I like Kit Kats, but I don't want them together.
Yeah. Well, apparently
next year at the Kentucky State Fair, they'll have deep fried pickle peanut butter Twinkies. I guarantee.
Oh yeah. And at Texas State Fair. That's another one. I love that. Okay. Well. Thanks for the McNews there, McNew.
You are welcome.
All right.
We're still on the whole segment, the McNews.
On this show, we drink. What is everyone drinking tonight? We're going to go with Corey, our man at the airport. What do you got there, brother?
Well, so I check a bag only typically, but I'll talk more about that on the next show, about my strategy for my travels this week. But I have all these little mini bottles that I pack in my carry-on. So tonight it's going to be the Peerless Butterscotch Brisket Rye from the New Orleans Bourbon Festival last year. Oh. So, and I'm foregoing the cork pop because
you've got to.
It's a 2-ounce bottle.
Unless you would have got the Four Roses mini.
I'll do this. There we go.
Spun it off there. All right. Susie, how about you? What do you got?
I have Four Roses Small Batch Select. And I don't know how much
are you kidding me?
Cheers!
All right.
No way.
No. Everyone should have brought that. It's a small batch select cork pop off.
But this will be this will be like a real same to same.
Oh yeah,
cork.
exactly. Let's see, Susie, you're first.
Okay.
Okay, not much there. Not much there. Let's see if I can beat that. Mine is a little bit more full than yours, so I'm hoping I get a better cork pop. Here we go.
Way better.
That was close to perfection. Wes, that's going to be tough to beat. I'm liking my chances.
Mine's about halfway gone. Let's see what we've got here.
Not enough. McNew, I'm the leader. What do you got?
All right, because I want you guys to have a real Four Roses challenge, I'm just going to go Jim Beam Double Oaked on a twist off.
Oh, yes. Yes, even though there's 2 twists involved there, I'd still appreciate the victory as much. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, well, cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, it's time to talk about 22 hours in line for Birthday Bourbon. We'll talk to you in a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
Hello, this is Jeff from Iowa, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily with Steve and McNew from one of their classic Friday night recording sessions.
All right, welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we have Corey Welch talking to us about his Birthday Bourbon wine experience.
Yes, 22. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on here. So first of all, 22 hours in line. That's crazy. I'm a guy. I don't mind spending the night to get something, but that's spending almost a whole day there, Corey.
Yeah, and the 22-hour thing was never the plan. But we were staying in downtown Louisville. First of all, we had 5 couples up there, so 10 people that were going to wait in line to get this stuff. And we had been told by some folks in the distillery the day before that, typically, so last year the folks had started to line up about 2:00 in the afternoon, and basically as long as you got there before midnight, you were still guaranteed a bottle. So that was kind of the plan that we had. So we were actually all loading up. We went and had breakfast, and we were in our vehicles heading to Bardstown to see some stuff and to have lunch at Bardstown Bourbon Company. And when we drove by Old Forester that morning, there were 12 people in line at 9:00 in the morning. So, and I like you, Steve. I'm not that mad at this stuff to sit in line for 22 hours. But the other 4 couples that were with us were absolutely that mad at Birthday Bourbon. So
yeah, I'm a Birthday Bourbon fan, but that's not the hardest one that you'll ever have to chase. I mean,
no, and I usually get a bottle like you
I usually
every
get a
year.
bottle. Yeah, I haven't missed out on Birthday Bourbon. So
Yeah.
and I'm not talking sitting in line for 22 hours. I just I've been able to get one.
So three of the guys that went with us said this is like their first year of bourbon, if you will. So this was like their first big experience, first time to Kentucky, first time to see a bunch of the stuff. They were really excited. And,
instead, they just get to see a sidewalk.
Yeah,
they drive to Kentucky from New Orleans, however long that is,
What
and
an
they get to sit on a sidewalk.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it was quite the experience. And I flew there from Mexico City, and I lost nothing at that point, and I wasn't going to sit in line that long, but there again, I'm a team player, Steve. So
so you went along with it.
I did. We went along with it.
Okay. All right. And I guess we want to know about the experience, right, team? Well, we want to hear about this. I mean, that's a long time. Is there? Yeah.
I have questions about that long time.
Okay. We're going to, McNew, jump in. Ask a direct question.
Okay, jump in.
Yeah.
Okay, so 22 hours, so maybe you slept on the plane, but did you take a nap? Did you stand the whole time? Did you have
No, so I mean,
chairs?
we were there for the whole weekend. So we flew in. I flew in Friday afternoon. We stayed right there in downtown Louisville, had a good time. So yeah, we had a hotel room, and like I said, we had woke up that morning, went and had breakfast, and we didn't have any chairs at that point. We didn't know what to expect. So we drove by, like I said, at 9:30, and when the people were in line, that was the first thing we did. Was everyone went over there and kind of got a spot in line, and then me and my buddy Mike went to Walmart and bought 10 folding chairs and went right back.
So this is on top of the birthday bourbon. That's an extra expense.
It's on top of the birthday bourbon.
Yeah.
But they were really, really cool folding chairs. I'll show you a picture of one. They say no problema on them, and everybody complimented on our chairs. So.
Well, yeah, that's nice.
Those
That's
are great chairs. I've seen those at our Walmart.
Did you get to take the chair? Or were you flying and then you had to dump the chair when you went home?
Well, so 3 of the couples that drove, so I just threw all my crap in the back of their car.
Gotcha.
So,
I've got a question for you. What was the weirdest thing you saw during the night?
during the night.
Or the morning, either one.
I mean, well, you can imagine what 72 people sitting in line drinking all night looks like. So, one of the guys that got there right after us, I mean, he was sitting in his chair, just thought he was taking a nap. He was obviously having some issues, and he just projectile vomited.
No.
All over him, all over his chair. But he's like, immediately get up, pick him up, like carry him off, put him in the car. But they'd already been there like 11 hours at that point, so they're like, we're not leaving. So
Oh,
he
my
was like,
God.
get the chair. And, yeah.
You're not selling us on the idea of doing this now. Yeah.
I
I don't think we're going to walk away and be like, yeah, this, okay, he's convinced us we needed to do this. No, it's getting worse.
No. But that was, so one bad experience. I mean, for the most part, everybody was pretty cordial. It was a self-policing line, so those 12 guys were there. We were number 16 through 25, our group, our 10 people there. And, you could tell we got there we put our chairs in line about 11:30 or 12 o'clock. And you could tell that the crowds were really starting to come at that point, and people were getting kind of hostile because Old Forester had made us move a couple of times. We were wrapping out towards Sidebar, if you know where that was, and they made us move, and then let's go back toward the hotel where all they're doing all the construction. And then the construction guys were like, well, you can't block this walkway, and it was just a fiasco. But
did you feel like you were homeless at that point, where people were just shuttling you through the city to like get off my wall?
That's exactly what it felt like. And Louisville has an ordinance. They had sent all the notes out before the release. It says you can't bring a tent, you can't sleep, you can't do this, you can't do that. So,
wow. Can't sit there and projectile vomit on yourself. Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah. When I went there, I've spent not the whole night there. I've shown up, 4 a.m. or something like that to get release of President's Choice. So, and you're out there, and some of the residents, there's a condo right there. As you that line starts going down, you end up blocking a door of the condo, and those people were the ones that would yell at you. Now, the other businesses, as they started to open up in the morning, they were fine. They I don't know. I guess they're good with the Old Forester and know what's going on. All those people will leave, but the residents a couple of them were yelling, which is really great. What the hell are you doing here? Get out of here! We don't need you people here. Yeah, it was
that way. The residents were fairly tame for the most part, but the group was pretty tame too for the most part. But yeah, Old Forester did make us clear ways for, Duluth is right there. They have a bunch of restaurants, and they're like, you got to keep these 10-foot sections open so people can come and go. And that caused a lot of tension with people that had been waiting in line for, several hours already at that point. So
heaven forbid you block the door where someone can't go to Duluth and buy their ballroom underwear.
Yeah, that's where I buy my drawers. I gotta have Duluth is the place to go, man. It's right. Corey and I we've shopped there. I showed them.
We've shopped there.
This is the line. This is the line I wear right here.
You showed me.
So did you guys have snacks? Like, were there any hangry people?
Well, obviously, like I said, we had originally planned to get there about 7 or 8 o'clock that night and hump it out that way. But whenever when it got fast and furious, all we had was chairs. But luckily there was a pizza place across the way, and
you got Doc Crow's right there, right?
Yeah, Doc Crow's was there.
Merle's.
But Merle's was closed. It was Labor Day, so we didn't have a lot of options. But the pizza place was very appreciative. That's all I can say. I think at one point I counted 78 pizza boxes on the ground. So that's probably the best day they'd ever had.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
How many people ended up being in line? And did everybody come up?
So the line, 72, there were 72 bottles that were released. And the number 72 was reached probably about 6:30 or 7 o'clock that afternoon. And people kept coming all night long. No. It was really, really upsetting because, you'd go over there, you'd see them pull up, and they'd pull up in the loading zone in front of Old Forest, and they pull their chairs out and all their ice chests, and you'd be like, hey, go read the sign on the door. There's 72 bottles, and there's 72 people in this line, and here's the list. We had been keeping up with a running list, and we were self-policing it. And so, yeah, the people that got there at 7 or 8 o'clock, they all just kind of walked away and did their thing. They weren't going to wait in line. But there were folks that got there at 4 o'clock in the morning that were just like, well, we'll sit around and wait. And I think when they finally opened the doors, there were well over 100 people in the line, of people that were just hoping that there would be more than 72 bottles released. So yeah.
There's a guy in the area who's notorious for showing up to all the different releases. He was at Four Roses last year for the small batch limited edition. He's at all the big releases, and he's notorious for showing up with anywhere from 3 to 6
mules,
crack ladies. Yeah, crack ladies of the night that are mules because he flips all the bottles. That's all he does is flip bottles. Yeah. Did you see any of that activity there?
There were definitely flippers activity? There were definitely flippers there, and they were open and honest about it. And what surprised me was a lot of them were from Bardstown.
Yeah, so this guy's from Bardstown as well.
And there were a lot of old ladies, which was even more surprising. So, and they would bring out full spreads. They had iPads. They had. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, they had iPads. They had generators. They had fans. They had, you name it, they had it figured out. I mean, this was stuff that they had done for a long time.
Yeah, they had the experience to go with that.
They had experience. That's absolutely right.
Yeah. Now, I heard a rumor those that did stand in line after 72 did get rewarded, though. Is that true? Yeah. I heard that they got a President's Choice.
What's that?
I heard that those that ended up staying after number 72 did get rewarded. They got a President's Choice.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So
crap. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah. So it ended up being not too bad. I mean, that's a good consolation prize, and to me is tougher to get than Birthday Bourbon. To be honest with you, to go back to the thing, I want Birthday Bourbon, and I don't have a bottle this year yet, but I want to get one, and hopefully I will. But it's one that you typically can get. The President's Choice, not so much. Those are tougher.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, so I understand that to make sure that those people who had stood in line for hours as well got something, they broke out some President's Choice and gave it to them.
That makes me feel better because when we talked to these people all night long, they were great people. They were just like us, just trying to find a bottle of bourbon, and they just, when they got there, they realized, well, there's no better place in Louisville to be than people that love bourbon, and that's what we were doing. I mean, people had the craziest bottles you can imagine, pulling them out of their bags and pouring them for everyone, and it was a good time. I mean, overall, it was a good time, minus the projectile vomiting.
Yeah, minus that. There's one other thing hanging out there, Corey.
Immediately walked.
There's something else that's hanging out there. There's something else hanging out there, man. That's a long time in line. Much of the time that you're talking about, there's no places that are open for business, and people still need to. They're drinking a lot. I mean, do I have to break it out for you? What happened?
I mean, I see where you're going. I'm picking up what you're putting down, but no, it really was a lot less eventful than you think. There was a hotel across the street that let us go in and use the bathroom whenever we wanted to. So
that was kind of
pretty boring, Steve. No. I'm sorry.
Okay. I had heard a rumor you wore an astronaut diaper. Is there any truth to that? Tracy Napolitano told me that.
No comment.
Okay. All right. I thought so. I thought that was true. All right. Well, here's the bottom line. Corey, you did this. You're kind of telling us it wasn't as bad as it sounds. Would you do it again?
It was every bit as bad as it sounds. I would never do it again on my own. Could I be coerced into having a good time in downtown Louisville maybe again? Yeah, probably so.
Okay.
So,
right.
Yeah.
I'll do those things again. I just don't know about the 22-hour deal. That's a bit much. Yeah.
It's a haul.
Yeah. It was a lot. And you mentioned the President's Choice. I really didn't have any concern what anybody got behind me because as soon as I got my 2 bottles, I walked straight to my hotel room and slept for about 8 hours. So
that's not a bad plan. All right.
It wasn't.
We will wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Corey, we're going to start with you, man. Where can people find you?
All right. My Bourbon Club is Bourbon Underground, and it's Bourbon UG on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Mr. Corey Welch, and various other social medias just at Corey Welch.
All right. Wes.
You can find me on Instagram at Bourbon_Wes, and you can find me on Twitter at Bourbon Wes, one word.
All right, Susie.
I'm on Facebook at Susie Youngson and Instagram at Sounds Like Bourbon.
All right, McNew.
You can find me on Instagram as Miss_McNew. And if you have club questions, you can email me, mcnew@abvnetwork.com.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, and that's abvnetwork.com. Check that thing out, because everything that we do is out there. Our shows are out there, our blogs, Bourbon Zeppelin, so much more at abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the Network.
All right, gang, great job today. We'll have a brand new show for you guys tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing, the ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.